Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We are about to get on into the Start Now event, and I hope you enjoy. Come with us and have a great time. Be inspired to start your initiative and enjoy.
Yes, thank you. Now I'm glad I'm on the right stage. We want to start something, which is why we are here. It is such an absolute pleasure to be welcoming all of you here today. All of you, every single person that is in this room, I am glad to invite you and welcome you to our Start Now event this year. This is the space that will allow you to gather that courage, that allows you that room to pull out all of that purpose and unlock it and challenge us to move from intention to impact. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. It is now 12:30. We are starting. And to those that are returning, thank you. We truly appreciate your continuous support. To our first timers, thank you as well. We're hoping to see you again as this event runs 4 times annually. We have 2 that are in person and 2 that run virtually. My name is Lesego Ntlapo. I will be here hosting you throughout this exciting journey of starting now. In this space, we are looking to get you to act. Start Now isn't just a theme. It is a call to action. This is the time where you begin. Whether you want to grow professionally, personally, or just gather courage and see what it means to truly begin, you're in the right position. We will be hearing from our speakers who will give us their milestones, share with us, and remind us that they have moved from a place of fear to courage, from a place of forgetting to moving back to their goals that they had put aside. So you may think to yourself what it is that you would like to be starting from today onwards. And as we begin, I would just like to recognize some of our special guests. Clearly, others are running late as I'm not seeing them on the seats, but we will have our Simone de Villiers here, who's from Social Alchemist. May you kindly rise so you can get recognition. That was a very quick one. She was just like, I'm going to do it in a split second. I'm putting myself to the challenge. And she did it in a split second. So thank you for that, Simone. As we go in, today's program, we have our lovely late ladies. Welcome, ladies. And because you're late, we're going to have you sit in front. No, I'm kidding. Just please don't sit all the way back. Thank you. So in today's program, you may have seen the flyer outside. We are going to have 3 thorns that will poke you into action. They obviously have to be thorns because I am the lovely rose with my petals. So please, as they poke you, allow yourself to feel that discomfort and act. Move from that place of comfort where you've been sitting for a very long time and allow the inspiration to sink in, embrace it. So after that, we're going to then have our Q&A. As you're listening, kindly jot down your questions, put down your material, and then when we give the Q&A section, you can then ask your questions. Do not feel like, oh, why am I not getting a chance to ask? We will have that. We'll also have a networking session after everything is done. So do not hesitate, but feel confident and okay. We will then have our first speaker, who will be going off, and I see he's ready, he's prepared. I'm not seeing your, oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. So as we're here, we will have our first speaker. He literally walks the talk. He was in an accident when he was only 6 months old. The doctors told him he could not walk or talk ever again. And what did he do? He went ahead and spoke for a living. Right now, he speaks for a living, as he will be your very first speaker. He has been a trailblazer in disability in a lot of aspects. In his growing ages, he was the first to do so many things in his position. He did not only end up walking, he now dances. He will work on our mindset, and he's busy moving around. You may not have missed that. He is Nick Smith. Nick Smith, the Rebel Ninja. He will be gracing us with his speech today. Thank you, Nick.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Lisa, for that introduction. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Saturday morning. I really am excited to be here, excited to help you start, excited to help you move. When Bonnie first came to me and said, Nick, I've got this idea, want to motivate people, we had a long discussion about, a year and a half ago. And then we worked on it for about 6 months. Then we started some online stuff, and now we're working in the physical space. So this is our very first physical meeting. So thank you for being the trailblazer. Thank you for being the pioneer. And thank you for joining us. As was mentioned, I'm Nick Smith, the Rebel Ninja. The reason why I'm the Rebel Ninja is because for a lot of my life, people said, you can't do this, you can't do that, or you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because you're a person with a disability. But I said, it doesn't matter. I want to do it, I'm going to get it done. It might take me longer. It might not work exactly the same as it would for an able-bodied person. But for me, what mattered is starting. For me, what mattered was doing it, despite what other people said. So, before I dive into my content, I want you to close your eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're in a perfectly safe space. Just close your eyes, and for a moment, I want you to think of yourself in a year's time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. But not just you, a successful you. What does that look like? What are you wearing? Where are you? What are you driving? What did you see when you were envisioning yourself in the future? Anyone? What you see, what do you listen about? What were you doing?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Suwima Khaita. What I saw is I was in Monaco driving a GT RS Sport.
Love it. All the way in Monaco. Love it.
Now, have you done any of that before? Not yet. Exactly. I love that. I love that. So that leads me to my next point, which is we all need to grow into our future selves. We all need to take that time and go, okay, I'm not here where I want to be, but I'm going to get there. Okay, that's called growth mindset. Has anyone heard of growth mindset? Just raise hands in the air and wave. You just don't care. Okay. So I did see a few hands. Now, growth mindset, I came across when I was 21. Okay. By the way, I'm now 41 years old. Okay. So I watched this talk by Carol Dweck. She's the founder or the mother of growth mindset. And I watched this thing, and I've never come across it before, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is me. This is my life. This is who I am. I didn't have a label, but now all of a sudden I know what I am. So what does growth mindset mean? Well, growth mindset is on this side, and fixed mindset, its opposite, is on this side. So if you are a person who faces challenges, who doesn't back down from a challenge, you've got more of a growth mindset. If you think that obstacles are good for you, obviously they challenge you, but if you don't give up, they make you stronger. If you think challenges make me stronger, then you've got a growth mindset. If you think, and this is a big one, if you think that effort is worth it, if you put in the time and effort and you don't back away from that, if you think, if I put in the effort, it's going to do me good, then you've got a growth mindset. An interesting one, especially for adults, not really for children, but an interesting one is this one over there, criticism. Okay. So a lot of us don't like criticism, but if it's constructive criticism, that's a good thing because we need to learn from our mistakes. or we need to know how to get better. So when you look at criticism from a growth mindset perspective, we say, okay, that is something bad or negative or something I can improve on. Okay, so we say we can learn from our criticism. And then another interesting one is a lot of us don't like people that succeed, especially in our area of expertise. So if you are, let's just say, the best race car driver, or you want to be the best race car driver, and you in your circle you've established and you're a good race car driver, but you're not the best yet. And then someone joins you in your circle, okay? So not up here, but within your peer group. And they're better than a lot of people go, oh, he's better than me. I hate that guy. Or I don't want to work with that guy. I don't want to talk. But a growth mindset person will say, no. A growth mindset person will say, I want to talk to that guy. What does he do that I don't do? What is he doing differently that I'm not doing yet? How can I improve by learning from him? So growth mindset people often say all of those things, or think all of that way, or do all of that on that side. I'm not going to go through each point over here, but you can obviously see the comparison. Now, I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you which one is you, but think for yourself. Where do you sit more often? Do you embrace challenges or avoid them? Do you put in effort and think it's a good thing, or do you think effort is a bad thing? I'm not good enough, so I need to work harder. You see, as a person with a disability, I had worked harder my entire life. My car accident happened when I was 6 months old. I was a baby. So from that age, I just worked hard. If someone did it in a day, I did it in 6 days. If someone did it in an hour, I did it in 5 hours. I didn't mind. Effort for me was a good thing because I knew I was challenging myself and growing each step of the way. So the thing is, if you are wanting to start something and you're wanting to grow, now I've instilled the growth mindset, or I've taught you about it, but you're not sure, like, how do I do this thing that I want to start? Where do I start? What are the good things? What are the bad things? Should I do that? Shouldn't I do that? A lot of indecisiveness can pop up. Now, the great tool, which some of you can ask me about more just now, a great tool I'm going to explain to you is called the PNI. Positive, negative, and improve. Now, I came up with this through looking at work by Edward de Bono, a great thinker, and he had PMI, which stood for plus, minus, and interesting. Now, I worked with that in that way for a few years, and then I came up with my own during a coaching session. It was like, hold on, positive, negative, and we want to change the negative, so then it became improve. So interesting about that is if something is working, if something's going well, you want to improve it. You want to do it more, you want to do it better. But you don't really need to improve it. If something is negative, you're like, okay, and especially, like I said, with the growth mindset, right? You want to improve that, you want to change that negative. So then you say to yourself, if that's a negative that I've identified, how can I change that? How can I improve that? No matter how bad any negative situation is, when you fall, you inherently, instinctively will get up. That's the power of saying, don't fail, fall. I haven't failed, I've fallen. Because when you fall, you will instinctively get up. And not only that, when you fall, so let's say this thing over here, okay, I walk here, I trip, and I fall. What do you instinctively do? I fall, what do? You look back at what made you fall. You look back. If I fell here, I'm going to look there, I'm going to be like, why did I fall? And others are going to look there and say, why did you fall? Even better, they might improve this because someone fell. That looking back is reflection. When you fail, you don't want to look back. But when you fall, you look back and you go, why did I fall? Or I tripped because of this. I tripped because of that. How do I avoid that? How do I improve that? If I tripped here, I could do this. And I can move it. Like I can step over it. Or I can improve that thing. Like with failure, you can say, okay, do I really want to do this thing? If I do, how do I do it differently to avoid that failure? So don't think that you failed, especially when you're starting something new. Say to yourself, I haven't failed, I've fought. And better still, get up and dance. 4 minutes. Okay, cool. I've got 4. The boss said I've got 4 minutes, so it's cool. Okay, so power of yet is super, 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 super powerful. Okay. I normally do a whole thing and last about 10 minutes, but I'm not going to do that here. What is the news going to say? Think about something you haven't been able to do. If you say you can't do something, you won't be able to do it, right? You say, there's this line there. I'm not crossing that line. I can't do it today. I can't do it tomorrow. It's never going to change. Okay. You've drawn a line in the sand. You put a full stop. That's not going to change. You've closed off that opportunity for you. You've closed off that challenge. Now, in some cases, that's a good thing because you don't want to waste your time and effort. But if it's an area in which you want to grow, you want to say, look, have I actually given up? I can't do that yet. Going back to growth mindset. Growth mindset says, with time, effort, and practice, anything is possible. Time, effort, and practice, anything is possible. That is the power of yet. It takes closed doors and closed locks and it opens them. It builds resilience because you will say, I can't do it today, but I'll keep knocking. It says, might not have the right key, I might not have the right skills, I might not have the right knowledge now, but with time, effort, and practice, I will, and I will be able to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an amazing honor speaking to you today. I am Nick Smith, the Rebel Ninja. Please follow me on social media and start now.
Oh, wow. The power of yet. Did we all get that? The power of yet. They say whether you say you can or you cannot, you're right. So what do we say now? Not yet. So when they ask you next time, can you drive, or you don't have a driver's license and you do not know how to drive, what do you say? Not yet. Yes. So it was amazing how Nick over here came off with that analogy of falling. Because, I mean, we fall, we trip, and we almost fall every time. And he's right, we do look back. And that was amazing. Thank you for that. Never have I ever had it in that sense before. So as we appreciate Nick for giving us his wits and his strategies of how he has pulled through and gotten this far, even with his disability, we should be encouraged. And I hope this thorn, this gentle thorn, has poked you to remember to do better and put yourself out there moving forward. So we're going to Monaco, right? Oh, she left. But, you know, everything that you're thinking, I can. Time, effort. What was the third one?
Time, effort, and practice.
Not from you. No, not from you. From everyone else. Time, effort, and practice. I hope we all got it. And what was the best part for Miss Nessa? Nessa, what was the best part for you? Yes, for you. Calling you back into the room.
The best part for me, I think it was the analogy about falling. Yeah, I think most of us, we are scared of falling and failing. So changing your mindset on that, it's the most important thing to do so that you carry on. Because when you fall and you think you have failed and you have lost, then you won't stand up and get up and do what you wanted to do from the beginning. So start now and acknowledge that falling is not the end. Stand up and move.
Alan.
Thank you for that. I see there's quite a few of us that could actually take on the stage. She could run her own talk. She literally could. And now, before we get on and get our next speaker, we will obviously have to thank Nick with the standing ovation that he deserves. Because what happened? He got off here after an amazing talk and we just went like we're sleeping. So may we all please thank our lovely Nick. Yes, he's done the best. So may we please check that for me. Wow, deserved. Yes, thank you so much, Nick. We appreciate you. So can we please keep that fire burning? Even when we call up our next speaker now, we've gotten the momentum, we understand it, we need to give that standing ovation and allow them to come through and feel the confidence and the fire. So our next speaker that is coming up, great, we see Heavyweight speaking. He has an amazing song that is going to play and he would love for us to dance to it as he makes his way up. He does go by the name Heavyweight because he started his heavyweight boot camps. That's the start. He started a couple of clubs. He has mentored, coached, and sponsored more than 25 clubs within Toastmasters International. If you don't know it, you may look it up and you'll understand how big of a deal that is. He has started his own public speaking city-to-city tours that he does, and we will welcome him onto stage with an amazing standing ovation. May we please have our heavyweight speaker, Eric Kaila.
You know, the craziest thing in life, that is to complain. And the hardest thing in life is to initiate. That's the hardest. Today, we want to talk about start now. Come to think of it, start now. When I was a young boy, my mother used to play a lot. I mean, we were staying in a 3-bedroom house. 3. Now, here's the thing. My mom got married to my father. He had 9 children. Then, gave my mother 9 children. All of us 18.
Yeah.
1 man.
Yo. 1 man, 18 children.
And as I'm standing here, I always say, I'm not like my father, because I only have 2. What a disgrace.
You should be.
But I'm still alive. I can start now. And at the 16, I mean, my father's name must live on. And when I look, I'm the only one who can really go for that. But ladies and gentlemen, my mother on the other side, she was so worried about this big family. She was like, how am I going to raise a family in such a small place? When I'm talking about the 3-room house, you know, it's the bedroom and the kitchen. That's it. So we will sleep like in the kitchen, all 9 boys in the kitchen, all 9 ladies in the bedroom, then my mother and my father. But there's a problem. If anyone wants to go to the toilet or to the bathroom, then all trouble starts. You have to jump over people. Now and then they even step on your head because it's dark. They can't see your head. But towards the end of the life of my mother, there's something big that I've learned. Towards the end, I realized that my mother had a plan. And she had these plans all of her life. All of her life, she had the plan to say, I want to build a house one day. This is what I want to do for the family, a big house to accommodate all these kids and the grandchildren. That decision, at the end of the day, made her to start now, to start to wake up. And she decided, Eric, I'm not going to wait anymore. It's been too long, and too long means it will never happen. I've been talking about it every day. I've been, as people will say, manifesting it every day. But it never happened all her life. Until one day, she went to one guy and told the guy to say, listen, I want at least a 6-bedroom house. I want it for my family. And the guy asked only one question. We were together. The guy asked, Margaret, here's your plan. That was the question. My mother said, Andres, I get the plan. But here's the thing. Andres asked him, show me your plan. She could not produce the plan. It was all upstairs. Never in paper. So Andres asked my mother, Margaret, how are you going to build this house if you don't even have it on paper? That means you are not ready for this thing. And my mom was really serious about it. And she will keep on telling Andres, I've been thinking of this all of my life. And she will say, Andres will say, is it on paper? And it was not. My mom stood up, went to look for an architect, and then she started to draw the plan together. Draw the plan, and every day she will sit with the plan. Said, this is my plan. I'm going to build this house. And she died. Years later, at least with something, with a plan in her hands. A number of years later, my sister decided to build that house. And she built it so nicely. And my sister's name is also Margaret.
Oh, wow.
So, a plan in your hand, that's what I've learned. It's not just for you. It's also for the ones who comes after you. You might fail to do it, or circumstances and situations and time might force you not to do it. But somebody will do it. Now here's the thing. Many of people go to the grave with many plans in their heads. Many plans. You can even think of some of them where you were sitting and discussing, and the person had these huge plans. Huge. And the guy will talk about them each and every day. But when coming to do it, it does not happen. I'm going to tell you why, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you why. Because you know, when success is about to happen in your life, it will not just happen. You will never find it along the way. You have to initiate it. And you have to initiate it in a very successful way. This is what we do most of the time. We initiate it by going into action. We want success, we take action. we fail. We want success, we take action, we fail. We invest a lot of money. I bought my first franchise back in 1997. I was a man of action, and it failed. After it failed, I realized, hey, I know nothing about marketing. That is when I realized I had the money to pay, but I knew nothing about marketing. I went to study marketing. And then later I realized I knew nothing about managing the marketing itself and the administration of the marketing itself. And it just became a failure after a failure until I went back to look for a job and I started working again. The point is, I had everything right. My money was right, my actions were right, and success was there. But there was something lacking. I've mentioned them there. Those question marks, there are 3 things that are lacking. But we will go to those 3 things. Because, as you are moving in life, you really want to initiate an initiative that will take you somewhere, that will change not your status quo only, but the status quo of your family, the status quo of people who come in contact with you. Have you ever seen people being stingy to people who are always close to them? It's because they don't have something to give to them. That's why they turn out to be stingy. But if you really want to move on in life, I always tell people, here are the 3 things that you must do, and you must start doing them now. The first one is to initiate initiatives. Instead of becoming an entrepreneur, you just become an initiativepreneur. Because we are not under pressure. I always tell people, do it in your backyard before you give it to the public. I have done that. Back in 2019, I decided to start a program called Heavyweight Speaking and Coaching. I decided to do it in my room, teaching people public speaking and teaching people coaching. But one thing that I've noticed is the second one. I noticed I delayed. I was like my mother. I will only talk about it without doing anything. I decided to procrastinate. Procrastination. I decided to find a way to procrastinate procrastination. Because if you don't procrastinate procrastination, it will procrastinate you. And it's going to procrastinate you painfully so, and you will realize years later. And the only solution that I found to procrastinate procrastination is the third one, which is to volunteer. Meaning, volunteer yourself to volunteering jobs or volunteering situations or circumstances. Just volunteer yourself. Open yourself up. Life is not all about money. It's also about your heart. Just open your heart and start doing things. I'll give you an example. What I did, I'm going back to number 1. I initiated this initiative of teaching people public speaking. And what I did, I volunteered to volunteer. I volunteered to teach them for free. 4 years, just training them for free. I've trained over 5,000 people. 2022, in fact. At the end of 2022, I started to charge. And I bought a Haval case. But here's the thing. You must volunteer. You have to volunteer. You have to open. For you to be sure that you are doing what is right, if you can't give it to people for free, that means there's something wrong. I decided to volunteer and I went in all with my whole heart to say, I'm going to do this thing. I mean, let's be honest, guys. This world got over 7 billion people, I think close to 8 billion people. Hey, 8 billion people. Johannesburg alone, let me say Gauteng, we have over 10 million people. South Africa, 66 million people. And I volunteer to train people, maybe, let me say, 5,000. What is 5,000 to a million? That means I managed to get what I want by offering and volunteering myself to train people. The interesting part, ladies and gentlemen, is you must know how your brain works before you start. The first thing that you need to do to start now is work on this. It will do you good. You see the brain, ladies and gentlemen, got the left side and the right side. Do you know what the left side do? And do you know what the right side do? I'm going to explain to you. At universities, this is what they teach us. A lot of logic, calculations, reasons, analysis, limited information, mathematics, reading, and believe me, the brain, especially the left brain, has the ability and well-trained ability to say no. You will want to start now, and it will say no. You know why? Do you know why it will say no?
Protection.
It's because it's too logical. It calculates. It's because it reasons a lot. You know, when you meet somebody who can reason, you can sit the whole night reasoning with a person. It analyzes a lot. It analyzes until it paralyzes, meaning you will never do what you want to do. So the left brain in South Africa, Southern Africa, and the world is the one that is trained every day of our lives. That's why even if you want to start, you can't. You ask for yourself, for who, for what? You reason. And you want to move again, your uncle will say, we've tried this. Who are you? So whatever you want to do, the people with the left brains, they will never leave you alone. Then they will ask you, where do you get money? So I know I don't have money. I'm just using the little that I have. I'll give you an example. I went to Tanzania and started a public speaking club. I flew 18 times to Tanzania to start one club, public speaking club. From my salary, when I get paid on the 15th, the 16th I'm in the aeroplane, I go. And people will be like, who's sponsoring you? What is happening? I said, no. You see, this one, I approach it the right brain, not the left brain. Don't ask questions. Let's move. Now, the left brain, the right brain is a creative brain. You know, if you are creative, you think big. You are visionary. Your emotions work properly. Your feelings work properly. You have this unlimited understanding. We call it the eternal you understand unlimitedly so. There's no questions in your understanding. It is agreeable, it is accepting, it is easy to say no. That's the right brain for you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you before I go deeper into this. Once your right brain can agree to your vision and it accepts it, the moment it says yes to it, there is nothing remaining there for you to get what you want. Nothing remaining for you to get what you want. I'll give you an example. Like myself, I want to stay here at Stain City. If my right brain says it's agreeable to that vision, it accepts it, it says yes to it. Even if I don't have a dime in my bank account. The moment it says yes, it will be like the ocean, where all the rivers flow. All the rivers are flowing to the ocean. The rivers don't care that the villagers don't have water. They move from the ocean, from the village to the ocean, and the ocean have water. But the rivers will go there and leave the whole land dry. That is how it works. The right brain, once it gets engaged, look there, eternal, unlimited. The left brain, there is the word limited. It limits you to think about your salary. It limits you to think about, my next door, this job, if I leave it, what will happen? It limits you. The right brain don't limit you. So the moment you are a type of person that always asks yourself a lot of questions, you must be able to think about these two situations. And especially like today, we want you to start now. Think about which side of your brain is controlling you. What is that dream that you had or that you are having now? Or what is that vision? You know, just yesterday, I told somebody, do you know, even in the Bible, the right brain is written about. The Bible says, whatever you ask for shall be given. It even goes further. It says, before you say amen, whatever you have asked for is given to you. It's because when the right brain says yes, it's given to you already. It is you who will go back to your left brain and say, hey, that Rolls Royce, hey, huh? That Monaco trip, hey. Now you start doubting it. So this is what's going to happen to you. 3 things are going to happen to you. The moment you get a solution, or the moment God gives you the solution, nature, it's in our nature that your brain is going to delete that information immediately. Or it's going to generalize it. Or lastly, it's going to distort it. And you will never go forward. You will never go forward. So ladies and gentlemen, the right brain is very important. This is what you should do. I'm giving you an equation here. In life, this is what I have done. I have thought about what can I do to become successful. The actions that I need to take to start now. And I came to realize there are only 3 things that you should do in life. Is to have a good vision, plus engage your emotions properly, not halfway. You need to read your emotions properly. Any negative emotions towards your vision, find a way to discard it. There are many people who can help you. There are coaches. We have our coach here. Our MC is a coach. They can help you to get rid of those negatives that will deviate you from your vision. And then lastly, go to the feelings. Emotions and feelings are not the same thing. They might sound the same. They are not the same. Find a way to go to your feelings and experience Monaco. You will definitely, ladies and gentlemen, go to Monaco. You will go to Monaco. If these 3 are incongruent, if they are in alignment, that is where the solution is lying. The solution lies in that alignment, nowhere else. But I want to tell you from my side, I'm looking forward to bigger things. I've learned to engage myself. I'm meeting coaches who can help me. I know I have a lot of negativity in this, but you can see how big it is. It's negativity inside here. I want to get rid of it, and want to get rid of it once and for all, so that tomorrow when we meet, we must be 2 different people. We must be people who have achieved, not because we doubted ourselves. It is because we have started now. It is because we want to do things right. It is because we don't complain. We initiate.
Started it, wrote it all the way, finished it, and then published a whole book. You might have seen it as you walked in on the desks out there, so you're more than welcome to get yourself a copy as we walk out. And the biggest one that we're most thankful for that he started is oh my goodness, what did I do? The Impact Communication Solutions, which is the initiative that runs this Start Now initiative. So that's where it was initiated. So now let us all welcome up on stage our very own Mr. Start Now, Bonny Matlala. Please stand up and give him that standing ovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Bonny Matlala. I'll be waiting there on that table waiting for you to take out your cards and purchase that book. I'm hoping to leave here with deck full of lens. I guess that's how a sales pitch goes. Good afternoon. Thank you once again for this opportunity. During the course of this week, I wrote a speech, and I wanted to give a great speech, right? But I thought I'm going to leave gimmicks aside. I'm going to tell you real stories. I looked at my slide. You know what people do these days? Then we take the time. People go to Facebook and, they take photos first. They get filters. They look for the best photo and they put it there. You're like, look, this guy is cool. He's living the best life out there. They made sure that the photos that you see is the best. But they don't show you the ones that are not good. Today, I'm not going to do that. I deliberately make my slides to be as real as possible, and I'm not going to give you gimmicks. I'm going to tell you two stories in my life. One is when I tried to get into the speaking business. The second one is the first time I became a father, when I'm a father to one. My wife is looking at me, someone's the... Well, this time now the thing is getting you excited. So ladies and gentlemen, what are some of the reasons why people don't start? People fear failure. The fear of failure cripples us so much that when you think of the possibility of failure and embarrassment, you'd rather not do anything. Number two, people wait for conditions to be perfect. But unfortunately, perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. Whenever you look at something, you can always improve it. And therefore, perfection does not exist, right? The second one is procrastination. I'll do it when I'm 50. Well, I'll stop this when I get married. But the reality is that whatever you are is something you will be becoming all along. So I want to tell you where this was started. As a young boy, I gave a lot of speeches at school and as well at church. But for some reasons, I felt that I needed a different audience. So I joined Toastmasters International, where I continued to give speeches. And over the years, I received numerous awards from Toastmasters, area winner, and all of those things. And as I was traveling, people convinced me, why don't you monetize this thing? Well, after much convincing, I thought, I am going to go for it. I was excited, and there I was, I did a Google search, right? And searching for speaking agencies. Speakers firm came up, motivational keynote speakers, and a list of them. I wrote emails. I was excited. I was going to make money. People said, you can do this, right? So I sent out emails, and guess what? Look at that guy. He looks cool, right? They said, I thought I'm going to need professional pictures. I said, no problem. Ran back studios, got myself nice photos, excited. I'm going to be a professional speaker. And I thought, I'm going to need an invoice. How much am I going to charge? So there's me 2022 thinking, perhaps a 10,000 won't be bad for an hour. Then right ahead of audacity, right?
Not bad at all.
Some people don't even end there. But for people in the speaking business, this is a modest request. Speakers charge a lot. If someone charges you this, you got a social archivist representative. I'm sure she will agree with me that this is the cheapest speaker you can get, right? Am I right, Simone? So I was modest. This was reasonable, right?
It's the bit, yeah, modest. No, that's barely cheap.
Did you get the guess? This is very little. If I go to her and say, please sell my service, and I say to her, 10,000 for 45 minutes, she'll think there's something wrong with this guy.
You want to think there's something wrong.
So I'm trying to give perspective. I was modest. 2022 asking for 10,000 rands for an hour. This is reasonable, right? There's nothing wrong with it if you know the space, right? So, of course, I waited and waited. There was no response. So I thought, what can I do? These guys are not responding to my emails. I thought, okay, I'm just going to get the guys who are doing it in the space. I'll send them DM messages on Facebook, LinkedIn. I'll try to align with them and use their credibility and say, won't you mentor me? And by that way, I'll tap into their space. Guess what? No one responded. Do you want to give you real stories, right? No gimmicks. How to deal with setbacks, because when you start, you deal with setbacks. No one responded. I was there depressed, thinking to myself, I've got 2 degrees. I'm a DTM, the highest award you can get by the most credible speaking organization in the world. I deserve that 10,000. I was sitting there at home frustrated and said, this is too little. Why have I not getting this money? And I was having a big pity party. Now, what I want to tell you is that things will go wrong. You'll embarrass yourself. You'll have a error of judgment. And there I was depressed. But after having a pity party, I realized no one owes me anything. I gotta dust myself, as Nick said. I have to stand up and do something. So I wrote a book. I'm talking about setbacks once you've started. I wrote a book, I poured so much into this book. Blood, sweat, and tears. Research, nights in the library. Researching and putting together a great book. You wanna guess what happened? Anyone wanna guess?
You sold 1 million copies.
That's true.
You know it was published because we saw it.
Very loose. This is what happened. ChatGPT came up. Now I'm writing a self-help book. The ChatGPT says, ask me anything. You want to prepare a speech? Ask me. Oh, they're devastated. Who's going to buy this book? Why is the world like this? Someone owes me. I need that 10,000 rands per hour. It's mine. I've got 2 degrees. I've worked for the biggest banks. And I had to eat a apple pie and realize that things don't work the way you want them. And that's what happens when you start. So I continued. And October the 5th, I launched my book here in this venue, just on the other side. And about 85 people showed up. And it was exciting times. Yes? Another applause for that? It was very exciting times for me. And I want to show you something. Keep that number top of your mind, the 10,000 I'm talking about, because I want to show you something. So 85 people showed up. We sold 40 tickets, and some were sold at the door. And we sold 40 books on the day.
And Eric in the front.
Yep, we saw that.
Of course, thanks. And I'm so fortunate to have my parents who are with me and who are with me today to witness that. And this is the COO of Digiterra, a software company, who showed me by coming through and got 4 books. And of course, that brought business in terms of myself speaking at his company. At least for a fee this time. Quite tiny. Nothing close to 10,000, but something close to that. But now, this is what happened. Okay, these are the ticket sales, of course, that we sold on the picket, and the other ones we sold at the door. So this was just an assurance that when you start, it seems like you become lucky. Because the 10,000 we wanted, we made 6.4. We had 45 tickets sold. So you already smashed that number, right? We're sitting there and we're hitting ticket book sales. And we sold 40 books and more books after that. Now, of course, my wife was, can you believe this guy? Who did I marry? Setback after setback, but this event keeps bouncing back. I'm sure I was like, oh, go, baby. And I felt like I'd broken free from the chains. You see, the question is not who's going to allow you. The question is who's going to stop you. When doors are shut, you must not ask, why are people not letting me in? You must say, I want to see who's going to stop me. And I think this is a game changer attitude. And this is the attitude that breaks everything that stands in your way. And the rejection, as one said, rejection is redirection. It felt like a bitter medicine that a patient needed so much. And had I been accepted by those agencies, I wouldn't have known what it takes to write a book, publish a book, cut deals with bookshops, as well as, do events like this one. So sometimes when you get rejected, just accept that you are just being redirected to a better place. Now, of course, this was the feedback that we received concerning that we are doing a good job. But all of these things, ladies and gentlemen, were not a smooth path. It was not a walk in a park. I want to assure you, as you go to start things, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. As a Christian, I've came across this statement which is debatable. They say the word, and it appears, the weather says, do not be afraid, appears about 365, meaning that you've got do not be afraid for each and every day, right? I'm going to put this thing away and tell you the last story. I said, I'll tell you two stories. As a father now, I hope you give me an attention. I thought you would clap for me.
We will. Of course.
My daughter is only 2 years, so I'm still learning. Imagine a child who says, I'm going to stop this thing is difficult. And that's what we do as adults. Now it was the 22nd May, 2022, when I was sleeping, and my wife came running into the bedroom and said, guess what? My pregnancy test is positive. I couldn't believe the news. I was excited. I remember us walking to the GP to find out and confirm if this was true. And she confirmed that indeed it is true. And I remember I said to us, you have to go and see a gynecologist now. Now, a gynecologist charged us 1,800 rands per consultation. I see there are some young people here. Maybe you think consultation is true. No. Consultation is about 5 minutes. And what the gynecologist does over time, it becomes predictable. It's BP. Sometimes you can feel like, why must we pay this guy? I can do a test for VP and all of those things. Now, over 9 months or 8 months, that came to 14,400 rands. We had to buy something called Prep Omega. Those are supplements pregnant women take, about 200 rands, over 9 months, right? We had to buy a pregnancy pillow. I was shocked there's a pregnancy pillow. I thought there's only this pillow that we use. But all of these things, when it got to about 22,000, I stopped counting because I was getting depressed. I mean, you can see I'm losing hair. It was all going off. And to cut the long story short, the doctor, the gynecologist said to me, your wife will change, your wife will be moody. Be gracious, be patient. That's how it goes. And I remember how our lives were just completely altered by this situation. But to cut the long story short, on the 27th of January, I remember I was in a maternity ward and waiting, and I heard the doctors singing, happy birthday to you. You think it was it? Happy birthday to you. Well, they were singing for my daughter, and then I was called, it's a daughter's birthday. Oh, okay. Then I went in. But ladies and gentlemen, as I close the story, the lesson that comes from the story is that we waited 9 long months. And that's what sometimes happens when you build things. Good things take time to achieve. They don't come quickly. I looked at the gynecologist assessment, you charge 1.8. We've already paid you about 7,000. Is there no way in your 20 years experience you can speed up the process? I'm sure you might have found a way to do it. But he said, no, Mr. Matlala, you have to wait. You have to be patient. Sometimes as we start things, we want things to happen quickly. They won't. We have to be patient. You must plant a seed today, water the seed, wait and wait. I said we spent up more than 20,000 rands. When you're passionate about something as you start, you have to put money into that thing. I always tell people and say to them, during COVID time, people will buy beer for 5 times the price. They will go and do a duck and diving with the soldiers because that's what they want. And I always tell people, if you cannot spend when you're passionate in your dream, then we gotta question you, are you interested in your dream? And more important, trust the process, as they say. I look at my wife typing, it was so flat, I thought, hey, this pregnancy test, let's do another one. But I was told, wait. 2 weeks later, I'm checking, I can't see anything growing, but I had to wait. And that's what happens when we build things. We have to wait. It will be a bit slow, but over time, it will come. So let us not be, want this popcorn kind of success as we start things. Let us remember that things take time. It takes time to build things. As we were doing this, we had about 15 tickets sold on Thursday, and we were sitting asking ourselves, should we cancel this thing? But we had to wait. We had to be patient. We had to send the WhatsApp, and we had to keep going. So there will be setbacks, but I want to assure you that over time, it will happen. Thank you.
Thank you. I see you've gotten the memo. I love that standing ovation.